My name is Joseph P. Hudson. Everybody calls me Joe Hudson. I was born in Biloxi. I grew up in Gulfport. I went to college in St. Paul, Minnesota. After college, I followed a lot of my friends up to the law school at the University of Minnesota. After that, I worked for 1 year in New York at the NACP Legal Defense and Education Fund. Then after that, I came home in 1974, started a law practice, and I've been here since that time. The rest is history.
I met Mr. Hudson back in the very early 70s. My husband had decided that he was going to help him to get his law office fixed. Joe had finished law school and was going to practice in the area, and Isaiah was helping him get his law office in order.
You know, that was an exciting time, a beginning time, for new direction for us here locally. We had African Americans seeking office, one of whom was Isaiah Fredericks, who was husband of Mrs. Frances Fredericks, or Representative Frances Frederick. And, his election campaign came up in the period of time after I first returned here. And, there was just broad support for him. Others, had given, great service. Dr. Gilbert Basin, from over in the Biloxi area, and all of the things that he did. Dr. Felix Dunn here in the Gulfport area. The director counsel of the Legal Defense Fund was Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, just all those people have always just inspired me. I was privileged to know them all and inspired by them all, and glad to know that I could have done a little part to help the effort.
I come from the community of North Gulfport, and we had North Gulfport, Turkey Creek, Gaston Point, but during that time we had no black elected officials, none whatsoever. We had been divided up, one segment of the black population on one side of the street and the other on the other. And in order to have districts that become winnable, you have to come in and get those districts where they reflect the population of the community. And this is what Mr. Joe Hudson did. He made sure that the districts that we had, at least one, would reflect the population of the community. And in doing so, it made it possible for us to win an office. And the first thing that we started out trying to do was the school board. And Mr. John Johnson was the person whom had been selected to be the person to run for the school board. And of course, Joe took the case, and the rest is history. We won.
Others gave so much, the churches and their ministers, just all types of citizens. That just really inspired me to try to do something myself to contribute, to the effort.
Joe was this great person that could see a need in the community, and he didn't come out saying how much it was going to cost. He did so much work for the community without being paid for it. It's unbelievable. If we would go back and just pay Joe a fraction of what we owe him for the things he did in our community, he'd be a multimillionaire.
My advice is to get involved, to find something that interests you, find something where there's a need, and just get out there and trying to make it happen. If we don't do it for ourselves, nobody's gonna do it for us.